You guys, there's over 40,000 different things to look at in a chart. This is just one thing. And it doesn't mean that a relationship can't work with your sun on their south node or their sun on your south node. It's just that you have to have a lot of other things, especially hopefully support to the north node by some of their other planets to rise you up, to take you where your soul really wants to evolve and go. In synastry, that can be like a magnetic draw. It's just that you need way more than that to make a relationship last. Now, if you have a mother or a father who's on your south node, you might outgrow your mother or your father or your home, but you might always find a comfort in them too. So it's not always a bad thing to outgrow somebody. Maybe they are the tree trunk in your life and you are the butterfly, and it's always a safe harbor to return to. So it could represent security. It's a puzzle. It's a mosaic that we have to put together. Okay, so I want to show you Travis's and Taylor's chart. So here it is, and it is just so interesting. Oh my God. I was just stunned when I saw this. And by the way, I saw this like 5 minutes before I started this video. So I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But look how close they were born. So they're just a couple months apart. So they do have the same nodal axis. Yippee yahoo. That's wonderful. Now, this is from the inner ring. This is from Taylor's perspective. You can also get a bi-wheel with Travis on the inside, and that would be from his perspective looking out onto Taylor. But first, we will just look at this relationship from Taylor's perspective. And they came from a past life. It's pretty tight, 19 and 23. That's not very far. And this could go all the way to 29, 19 to 29, and still have considered a conjunction. And when I say, on top of, that's what I mean in conjunction. So those nodes are in the same exact place out there in the universe when Taylor was born and when Travis was born. And they're both here to learn Aquarius third house things, or he, at least from her perspective, he is here to help her kind of not care so much, right? To move out of the Leo limelight, if you will, and to get independent. And maybe both of them will get unhooked from fame, knowing each other, and maybe they will become autonomous and independent here to sort of learn the Leo lessons that they were both royalty in past lives and in this lifetime. Oh my gosh, by the way, this is so important. I can't believe I didn't say this. And I've probably said this in all my other nodes videos. And by the way, you can watch my entire nodes playlist. And if you're not a member, you won't get it all because I have some behind my membership wall, but just come be a member for $2.99. It puts like 10 cents in my pocket and helps keep the channel alive and thrive, and you get all kinds of benefits. And I try to answer all of my members' questions. It's getting hard to do, but I do my best. Whatever energy you were in your past lifetime, that energy usually plays out in this lifetime until you're about 36 years old. So they both are royalty in this lifetime. And it doesn't mean that they'll give up their royalty. Usually the same theme that you were in a past lifetime, you're so good at it, you play it out in the early part of your life. I feel like you don't really move to your north node until you're about 36, 37 years old. And that's because it takes a couple nodal returns to, the first one's at 18, the second one's at 36, 37. It takes a couple of those for you to start stepping into that north node energy. Now, both these kiddos are about 35 years old. So you watch next year, you're going to start seeing them in their kind of autonomy and their independence, and maybe unhooking from what the tabloids say or what the public opinion is of them. That's very Leo, working for affirmations. Now they're going to be working for their authentic truths inside of Aquarius. But I want to show you guys something. So here's the 23, here's 19. So let's just take Taylor and do the 19. His moon is in trine to her south node. He loved her once before. And I bet you anything, I don't know their full love story. I bet you the moment he saw her in this lifetime, he was like, she's mine. He remembers it from a last lifetime. And by the way, the two royal signs in the zodiac are Sagittarius and Leo. Why? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is Zeus, which is the god of all gods, the god of the universe. And Leo is the sun, the god of Apollo, the life force. Leo is the king or the queen. It is royalty. And so this is very regal. So they were a regal power couple in a last lifetime, and he loved her. I'm going to tell you, I do think they had something remarkable because of that moon, but their compatibility is so off the hook, off the charts. He holds the moon to her sun. I don't love that. She's going to end up eclipsing him. And like, who is she not going to eclipse, right? She's pretty much going to eclipse anybody she stands next to. But when you have the sun and the moon together, the moon is eclipsed by the sun. So she's going to wear the pants. But they have some really, really fascinating synastry. And I love that his Libra sun, Mars conjunct the sun, he can hold his power and he can hold his strength in a very gentle way. But I love how his sun and Mars goes well with the nodal axis beautifully. And then her sun also goes well with his nodal axis. Anytime you have a moon Jupiter, like she has natally, and he brings the moon Jupiter, that is just overflowing with love. It's unbelievable. Guarantee you he feels like he has met his soul mate. I'm going to be really sad if this relationship doesn't work out. And I can also see why it might not work out, because his moon is with her sun. And it depends how well he can be the moon to her sun, right? Be the guy who she comes home to at night, and he just lets her be in her jammies with no makeup on, and he makes her a smoothie or cooks her a warm meal. I have a feeling he's like that anyways, because he's Libra, just a sweetheart. So his node is at 23 degrees, and it's going to be at 23 degrees no matter what time he was born, because the nodes, as I said, they take 18 days to move a degree. So you're just fine. If you don't know your birth time, your nodal axis degree is accurate. So let's go see if she has anything at 23 degrees. Well, that ascendant is pretty close. It's 25. Her sun is 21. That's pretty close. It's within 2 degrees. Her ascendant is at 25. So that's pretty close. And that is a square. Who she is in the world it's challenging to his nodal axis. It challenges him. That's probably going to be the only reason. That and his moon to her sun, it's the same exact thing repeated twice. If you get 3 lessons, it usually is a big deal. But one of the things that I just absolutely love is this Jupiter moon, and this nodal axis is so supported. One thing about Sagittarius moon and sun loves Leo and loves Aquarius. And so just knowing that, I'm going to bet on these people. And their synastry is absolutely amazing. So now let me show you how you make a composite chart. And the composite chart works better if you have both people's birth time. So when we don't have a person's birth time, because we don't have Travis's exact birth time, then we cannot count on the houses, but we can count on the planets. So you get 70% of the story, and I think it's still worth it. And by the way, we have a whole composite package, and it is so cool in the shop. In this composite package, you get your composite chart. I'll do a whole video on what the composite chart is, but it's basically taking the midpoint between each of the planets. So if you're a Scorpio and I'm a Capricorn, then we're having a Sagittarius relationship by sun sign. And if your moon is Capricorn and my moon is in Pisces, well, we're probably having an Aquarius moon relationship. And so that is what a composite chart is. So let's go take a look at theirs. Now, again, we don't have his time, so we're not going to be able to know what houses these fall in. But look at, they are having a Scorpio relationship. I mean, that's a Scorpio stellium with a Virgo moon. That's totally different than the regal, royal, queen-like, king-like, right? We still are going to have that same nodal axis because they both had that themselves. So it just moved a couple degrees. You can see these oppositions, but we are intimate. And with Pluto on the sun, what this relationship is about is intimate transformation at the deepest of the deep levels. And it is absolutely probably going to transform them. So let's look and see if there are any 21 degrees. Anything between 11 and 2 degrees, 1 degree, is hitting this nodal axis. But this Venus, this Mercury, this Sun, this Pluto, this Moon, this Chiron, almost every single one of these planets is having a relationship with this nodal axis by composite. Hopefully, you are one of the lucky souls. There's probably about 110 people who got my aspect finder. This aspect finder helps you so much figure out those orbs. So I absolutely love these aspect finders. If I get 50 people that say they want one, I will buy another batch of these and sell them again for you. So just let me know if you love your aspect finder. It's so helpful. So what you do is you put the little conjunction sign on the sign that you're trying to figure out, and then it shows you all of the aspects. And I cannot live without my aspect finder. I got this tool. This is so old. I got this tool 28 years ago, and sometimes I still refer to it when I get confused and I can't figure out my aspect by doing my math, because it's not my greatest skill. But it's really good. So if 50 people say they want an aspect finder, I'll put another batch in, and then, because I got to go to the post office and I hate doing that. So, and I got to hand address the envelopes, and I got to mail them all out to you wherever you live in the world. So it's a lot to ask me to go to the post office. And I definitely don't make enough money on them to make that trip worthwhile. But because I love you, I will if I get enough people who want it. But if y'all feel satiated and satisfied and like you're all good, then let's don't bother. But anyways, I wanted to show you the power of the composite chart. Oh, and by the way, there's asteroids in here that are the love asteroids that we put into this chart, and you get it in the report in the composite package. You also get this if you buy the soulmates package along with some other things. So go check out both of those options and see which one you want. But the composite package gives you your composite chart, which shows us what the meaning of your relationship is together as a symbiotic unit. So there's you, and then there's me, and then there's what our alchemy creates, and that is the composite. I am me and you are you. However, in relationship to me, with me, you are something different. And this is our relationship. We also have extra asteroids. They're the love asteroids. We put Psyche, Eros, and Cupido inside the wheel so you can kind of see what they're doing. The report also talks about it. The composite report talks about those different asteroids. And so I just fell in love with that report. So that's why I had to buy the license for it so I could start selling it. And I just absolutely love it. And I think their synastry and their composite report is so interesting, because who they are out there in the world is not who they are together. Together, they are both in their Scorpio energy. And Taylor is a Sag and he's a Libra. What? And they're doing a Scorpio life together. Granted, she's Scorpio rising, but we don't know his rising sign. So she, is a little bit more adept at Scorpio energy. That Scorpio energy and relationship is going to challenge their Leo Aquarius nodal axis. They're going to find challenges around how do we let go of Leo, and how do we even do Aquarius when we're in all of this Scorpio torment, right? And I think it can be really beautiful, because I think both of those people are pretty healthy. I think both those people, just from what I can see and what I've learned, I think they're healthy people. And so it's kind of a question of, how bad do you want it? And a lot of people don't want it badly enough. Anyways, I hope you got a little taste of the composite chart. Tell me if you want me to do another full-on video on what the heck it is and why is it important. I'll just tell you one last little tidbit about the composite chart, just because I want to give you one more little tiny thing. My husband and I both have fifth house suns, but in our composite chart together, we end up having a sixth house relationship. And that's because he's a Aquarius and I'm a Sag. And so we meet in the house of Capricorn. It's very, very interesting. And because that is like daily life. And it is really, really true. We are both fifth house suns, giant personalities, lots of friends, lots of social gatherings. But we find great comfort in just having a daily simple routine with one another. So whatever house your composite sun sits in will be the expression of your relationship together. Now, to tell you the truth, if my husband wasn't in my life, I don't have any planets in the sixth house, I probably would not take comfort in the daily routine like I do inside our relationship. Like I miss it when I don't have him home to cook for. And that's really the truth. And it's kind of funny because we really do like the domestic part of life, the daily do. We can still both do the fifth house because we both individually like that, right? But that does not define our relationship. And when I learned about that, at first I was like, ho hum, like, is that going to be fulfilling? Wherever your composite sun is, I promise you inside that particular relationship, that house is fulfilling. Yes. Go look at by composite, and you can get just a composite chart in our shop. A gorgeous, it's in the style of the gorgeous natal chart. And go look at, what is your composite relationship with your daughter? What is your composite relationship with your mother, with your father, with your brother, with your son, with your ex-husband, with your new husband, with your fiance, with your, right? And go look at the different themes of your relationships with different people in your life. And then go pick your very favorite, most comfortable relationship, run a composite chart with them, and see what house your composite sun sits in. And that's what the two of you are creating. That's what they are giving to you and you are giving to them. And that's what you are creating together. So those composite charts are just so fascinating. You can see your collective past life in the composite, and you can see what you're here to learn in your next lifetime. Now, with Taylor and Travis, they have the same nodal access. So it doesn't change from the bi-wheel to the composite. It does change if you don't have the same nodal access in your natal charts. Does that make sense? Are you guys learning all this? I hope so. And by the way, I only have 3 tickets left. If you want to come learn with me live in Seattle, Washington, May 16th through the 19th, come grab a ticket. I have 3 left. I am so excited. It's almost sold out. We are going to have such a blast. We're going to play by night, and we are going to transform our souls by day. It is going to be amazing. I can't wait till our next video visit, and I will see you soon. Sorry I couldn't be here with you in the live chat, but take good care, and I wish you all the very, very best.